This is video number 1 in the Planetscape series. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the starry night sky and also this alien landscape that's here in the foreground. In the second video, I'll show you how to make these colorful planets. The first thing that you need to do is get on the internet and search for an image that you can use to be your alien landscape. I went to a website called morguefile.com where there are copyright-free images available for public use. I put in the search word boulders and I found this image. The first thing that you need to do after you open your image in Photoshop is go to the Layers panel and get rid of this padlock by double-clicking on the background layer. Click OK, and now it's converted to layer 0 and the padlock is gone. I'm going to take the zoom tool and draw a box around this area right here where I'm going to start cutting the image out. My favorite tool to cut things out is the polygonal lasso tool. You might use another tool if you like it better. For the polygonal lasso tool, I'm just going to click and drag to make a selection around the boulders. Now it took me a good 10 minutes to make a nice selection around the boulders. So you don't have to sit there and watch me click for 10 minutes. I already have it cut out. So let me go ahead and load that. There we go. So that selection took me about 10 minutes to accomplish. So now I'm going to hit delete on the keyboard and the background is gone and the boulders are left. So Control D is deselect. So we just recently did the mirror image project and that made me think I can use that technique to make this image wider. I didn't think that there was quite enough boulders and I wanted to make it longer. So what I'm going to do is go to Image Canvas Size and I'm going to double the width. So 12 plus 12 is 24. And I want all of the canvas added, not that side, to that side. So I want it added to the right of the image, so I clicked this middle box here on this side. And I will click OK. To make this fit on the screen, click Control 0 on the keyboard. Select the Move tool, hold it over the image, and hold down Alt. You can see the double arrow. And I'm going to, while I'm holding down Alt, I'm going to drag off a copy. Then I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, and Flip Horizontal. This over here in the Layers panel is 2 layers and I want to combine it to be 1 layer. So on the keyboard I'm going to click Control E, which is the shortcut for merge down. Now right here in the center, this looks pretty fake. So I'm going to use the clone tool to make that look a little more realistic. The clone tool is right here. It looks like a stamp. To make my brush the right size, look on the keyboard where the P key is and next to it are the brackets. The right bracket makes the brush larger and the left bracket makes it smaller. This looks like a good size right here. The last setting that I'm going to check is up here in the brush panel. I'm going to make sure that the hardness is set to 0. So the slider is all the way over to the left and it says 0. To close that menu, I'm going to click off here to the side somewhere. Now I'm going to hold down Alt and get a sample of this part of the rock right here. Let go of Alt and then I'm going to click and drag to cover that. So let's see, Alt click here to cover that. This looks pretty bad down here. Alt click here, cover that. Looks okay so far. Up here, Alt click, I'm going to cover this area. Alt click, cover that up a little bit. On this side, I'm going to make my brush a little bit smaller with the bracket key. Alt-click, and I'm going to cover that up. Then I think I'm going to use the polygonal lasso tool and just chop off one of these sets of rocks that's protruding up here so it doesn't look quite so obvious that it's a duplicate. And that's pretty good for now. Looks a little better. All right, the next thing that I want to do is add a little bit more night sky up here at the top. I need some more area. So again, I'm going to go to Image, Canvas Size, and I'm going to go ahead and double it. I'm going to make the height 16, and I want it to all go towards the top of the image, so I'm going to click this bottom middle box here and click OK. Again, Control 0 to make this fit onto the screen. Now I'm going to add my night sky. Over here in the Layers panel, I'm going to click the Create New Layer button, and it's called Layer 1. I'm going to click Layer 1 and drag it underneath my rocky landscape. Over here in the Layers panel, in the toolbox, I have black as the color on top. That's what I want. I'm going to go ahead and grab the paint bucket tool and just click that to fill the background with black. Up here in the filter menu, I'm going to go to Noise, Add Noise. And the amount might vary depending on the size of your original image. For this particular image, I've experimented and found out that 200 works pretty well. I am going to make sure that the distribution is on Gaussian. That will make it a little bit more random. And double check that monochromatic is checked. We only want black and white. We don't want colors. So I'll go ahead and click OK. Now I need to make some adjustments to bring out the black and make the white star stand out some more. So over here in the adjustment layer, I'm going to choose Levels, and I'm going to drag the black slider over until the black looks nice and dark and rich. Then I'm going to drag the white slider over to make those stars pop out a little bit more. There we go, that looks pretty good. Now the last thing that I'm going to do is click back on Layer 1, and I'm going to blur the stars a little bit. So with Layer 1 selected, I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. And I experimented with this, and I found for my particular image and the size of my image that 0.5 works. So you might need 0.7, 0.3, you might need a radius of 1, and you can preview it by this check mark right here. You can turn it on and off so that you can see the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And I'm pretty happy with that. So for now, I'm going to save this, save as, and I will call it Planetscape. Justine, and I already have 1, so I'm going to call it 2. And make sure that this is a PSD. If you save it as a JPEG, it will flatten your image and you won't be able to open again tomorrow. You'll have to start over again. So I'll click Save. And that's it for this video. In the next video, I'll show you how to create the planets.